Alright, guys. Yeah, I skipped last week because I wasn't sure if Green Ethan had time or just had the time to participate, and I always like to take advantage of when he lets me know that he's free, and you know you know it's okay. I forgive him. I'm I, I'm not upset with him or anything, but he didn't let me know last week, so that's why I good. Ooh, that goes with his ketchup bottle equipped. But yeah, because if he doesn't tell me anything, like say anything, then I'm just gonna assume that he's busy. So, but I can recall him saying that, letting me know to finally do another Miitopia episode. I think he said 6:30 and not 6. So I apologize if I'm misremembering, but yeah, this will premiere at 6:30 later today actually. Usually I would do these the night before, but my sleep schedule and just my overall schedule has been fucked up, so I'm doing this a little later. Hopefully it'll still have time to upload and all that before this evening. And I don't really have much to talk to you guys about. There hasn't really been any major updates on my life, but oh my god. I do have some doozies that I want to speak to you guys about to make up for it. So yeah, because when I don't have anything in any updates, I just kind of like to talk about just whatever, I like to talk about the future. I like to talk about just crazy shit going on. I like to vent about stuff that's on my mind, That's one of the reasons why I like doing these, because I don't know why there's just something about Miitopia. It's probably my favorite game to play while I'm venting to you guys and just talking to you guys about stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Papa Louie games too, but like you have to multitask. You don't have to worry about multitasking in Miitopia. So if you think about it, Miitopia is actually a more relaxing game to play than Papa Louie. Sure, it's a fighting game, but still, you don't have to multitask, so it's easier to talk while you're playing it. Like when you're doing a let's play or whatever. But yeah, I'm still gonna do Papa's Wing Area to go probably next week if you're available, Green Ethan. But because we agreed that it would be best to alternate. I did a Papa Louie live stream last time, so I'm doing a Miitopia premiere this week. Okay, good. My brother's alarm's going off. I kind of felt bad doing this when he was asleep, but if his alarm's gonna go off, I don't feel bad about it. But yeah. Oh boy, scary scorpions. I do not like these motherfuckers. Alright, encore. Yeah, I like to just do encores. Sometimes it's just more efficient than doing my own powers. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. I even been playing Animal Crossing City Folk because last year I figured out how to emulate my PC digitally. It's not like an emulator you have to like buy. It's free and then you just download it. So that's pretty cool. I still mostly play New Animal Crossing New Leaf and Animal Crossing New Horizons, but the older Animal Crossing games are still fun to kind of check in regularly as well. Although New Horizons and New Leaf are where it's at. With that being said, oh my gosh, I think it would be awesome if we got remakes of the older games and even New Leaf, but the older games really need them. I honestly wouldn't mind waiting until the next the console after the Switch too, if it meant we got to have the GameCube Animal Crossing Wild World, Animal Crossing City Folk, and Animal Crossing New Leaf on the Switch. I think I feel like they should go about it in the same way they went about making this here Miitopia playthrough. Or Miitopia remake. Plus, I'll crop out the background so you don't have to worry about sunlight, so I'm not too worried about it. The sun's, it's early in the morning, so the sun's gonna be coming up, but I'll crop it out so you guys shouldn't notice it. But oh my god, I would love that so much. Like I said, I feel like they should go about it in the same way as, the Miitopia playthrough. You know what I'm trying to say. The Miitopia remake. They should maybe add some important features, improve the graphics. But other than that, the game should overall just stay the same, just with some more features and better graphics. Because I can't help but think, I know this might seem small to you guys, but to me, I think it would be awesome too. Because as Green Ethan, you may not know this, but Purple Ethan and Ashton, you guys know that my favorite villager is Rooney. You know, he's like a sky blue kangaroo, like, and he has like that boxing kangaroo vibe. That's like an icon in Australia. Yeah, he's my favorite Animal Crossing villager. But he didn't debut until New Leaf, which didn't come out until after until after, like, you know, the original Animal Crossing Wild World and City Folk. And I think it would be awesome. I would love to see what it's like to see him as a villager in the older games, because like I said, he debuted in a New Leaf, which, like, the games came out in this order: Animal Crossing Population Growing for the GameCube, then Animal Crossing Wild World for the DS, then Animal Crossing City Folk for the Wii, then Animal Crossing New Leaf for the 3DS, and finally Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Nintendo Switch. Actually, I'm not even gonna bother. We're gonna be in the realm of the Fae very soon, so it's probably best to not risk buying a uniform that I'll either just waste money on or wrong buy. But yeah, oh my god. Ugh! I want that so bad! I know it's kind of far-fetched, but Animal Crossing remakes sound really good. Obviously, New Horizons. That one doesn't really need a remake because it's still only a few years old, and but you know, I feel like the first three are what deserve a remake the most. You know, Population Growing, Wild World, and City Folk. Although New Leaf would also be awesome, but it's still newer. Not as new as New Horizons, no shit, but it still holds up compared to its three predecessors, which are still pretty fun, but you know what I'm trying to say. I just think it would be awesome to have remakes of those games. Oh, Vincent, ever so pissy. And like, that's another thing too, like, I'm actually one of the lucky ones because I figured out how to get Dolphin Emulator working on my PC, and I still have Wild World, so I can play all 5 of the games because I can play Population Growing and City Folk on my PC thanks to Dolphin Emulator. And you know, my 3DS is backwards compatible, so I can not only play New Leaf but also play Wild World. And of course, on the Switch, has New Horizons. But a lot of people aren't that lucky, you know. Very few people are able to play Population Growing, Wild World, and City Folk anymore. You either have to figure out how to get Dolphin on your computer, which isn't really hard, I think to in all fairness, but I think some people like are just like worried or they've never heard of it. So yeah, and of course you can also buy like a GameCube and a Wii on like Amazon or other consoles that are needed for certain Animal Crossing games. Thank you. But yeah, that's still though that's one of the reasons why I think these games deserve remakes. Actually, I have multiple reasons, and I'm gonna be going over them. But yeah, the first one that I'm discussing currently is because like a lot of people just can't play them anymore. Hell, like I spent years missing playing Animal Crossing Wild World and I mean not Wild World, the GameCube game and the City Folk game because you know, it costs money to buy like a GameCube and a Wii, and you have to like you have to like, you know, make sure you get all the right plugs and make sure you have room and for all that. So I just never really bothered to buy any of that on Amazon. Green Ethan, you can try it. Oh, you like it. All right. Good. Good, good, good. But yeah, thanks to my brother, like he was like sometime last year, I think it was like spring or summer of last year, he was telling me that he figured out how to play GameCube and Wii games on his computer, so he didn't like give me the any specific like software that he used, but I looked into it and I found the Dolphin emulator, and I think my brother later said that that's what he used. So technically, it's thanks to him. If he never said anything to me, I don't think I would have bothered to like look into getting my computer emulated. But oh, sorry. I don't know if you guys saw that, but dust keeps falling off my fan. Gosh, get off my bed. Dust. Yeah. But sorry about that. Let me move closer to my phone so it's not so echoey. But yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. I have a lot on my mind right now. But yeah. like I said, a lot of people just don't have the privilege of playing the older Animal Crossings anymore. So I think it would be good for them to get remakes. So princess time! Princess time! That way, like, newer generations can play them. And not just like us older fans, but like newer fans as well. And my second reason is that they can add villagers that weren't in like the preceding games. Kind of like how I was saying earlier, you know, my favorite villager is Rooney, but he only appeared in New Horizons and New Leaf, you know, not the three older versions. So that's another reason why I think another good reason why I think a remake would be useful. Because there are a lot of villagers out there that are extremely popular, but they weren't introduced into the series until New Leaf and even New Horizons. So I think it would be awesome to be able to experience having them as a neighbor in older games. And number 3, like, they can improve upon these games. I'm not saying they have to like completely make them seem like different games, because that would defeat the purpose. But like I said, they can do something similar to Miitopia. You know, it'll still be the same game with the same dialogue and same characters along with new ones, but like, you know, some features will get added, like being able to place furniture outside, better controls, more in-depth holidays maybe, and like, you know, newer, like, you know, and of course, as I was saying for my previous reason, like more like newer villagers. I don't even think they should add like new villagers, you know, just the villagers that were introduced in, that have already been introduced, but they like add them in games that they weren't a part of in the past. I don't know why, but that just makes me so happy thinking about that. I would love to see a Wild World version of Rooney, a City Folk version of Rooney, a population growing version of Rooney. I want it so bad. Especially City Folk, because the cranky villagers in City Folk are extremely wholesome. I mean, they're pretty wholesome in New Leaf, don't get me wrong. That's probably the most, you know, that's the game where they probably show most of their wholesomeness, but there's just something about City Folk to like that, you know, and this goes for all the personalities in general. Like each game the personalities just have a different feel to them. Like, you know, in City Folk, for example, they act like hopeless romantics, which I think is pretty wholesome. And like, they can be like a good shoulder, like a good shoulder to cry on, because I remember, oh, I'm freaking smiling. That's how much I want this. But I think I remember, like, oh, a long time ago, when I was like doing something on City Folk. This one villager chief, he's like an orange wolf. You know, he has the cranky personality, you know, the same one Rooney has. He invited me over to his house, and when I left, he said I can come visit him if I ever needed a shoulder to cry on. And you know, you guys may be like, it's just a game, yada 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 yada, but come on, like, it's wholesome as fuck, you know. I want to experience something like that, but with Rooney. Oh my god, that would just warm my heart so much. But yeah, and like I said, they also act like hopeless romantics in that game. Like, they talk about just like kind of romantic stuff, you know. I remember I had Static. He's another cranky villager. He would say wholesome stuff like, oh, the best place for a nap is the lap of your special someone, and oh, I wish there was a nice girl out there who willing to share her scarf. You know, it's just adorable. I love how they were portrayed in City Folk. It's not my favorite. My favorite is the way they're portrayed in A New Leaf. But I would still love to experience it with Rooney if they do make a remake. And then and then like in the New Leaf, they are portrayed as like really caring father figures. Like, oh my gosh, they are so loving in New Leaf. It's unreal. Butterfly honey. All right, that's fine. We get some money. Don't be sad. You're gonna get money from this. I like money. I like monkey. I'm sorry. Monkeys eat bananas. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, like I said, the personalities just have like their own versions depending on the game. So I want to experience having Rooney in older games that he never appeared in. And if Nintendo decides to do a remake, we can do that. And of course, Amino, that's a must-have feature. I mean, not Amino, Amiibo. That feature is a freaking godsend. You don't have to go through links to like get specific dreamies. You can just order their amiibo card online, wait for the card to arrive, and go through the process of scanning in the villager. Like, it's a godsend. I mean, sometimes Nintendo is greedy, like with the whole online subscription bullcrap, but you know, there's nothing wrong with like making money off of people as long as you do it right. Like with the whole amiibo, for example, like you know, like it costs money. It obviously costs money to buy, just like the consoles and the games. But you know, that's a good thing. They're not making like with the online subscription. They're making like us pay money for something that used to be free. But if it's something that can actually benefit people, like getting their dreamy more instantly, then you know, sometimes it's good to like have people pay money for things. You know, the people over at Nintendo are capitalists. You know, they want to make a lot. They want to make money as much. They want to make as much money as possible. So why not do remakes? Plus, another reason why I think I want remakes to be I want remakes of these games is because like it'll help bridge the gap between like New Horizons and whatever the new mainline Animal Crossing is. That's another reason, because like I said earlier, like I wouldn't mind. I don't know if I don't even know if I said it earlier, but I'll say it now. I wouldn't mind waiting another, I don't know, 5 to 10 years for another mainline Animal Crossing game if they gave us remakes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for an actual new Animal Crossing game, but I can't help but think about what a remake would be like. Like, you know, a new and improved, well, remake of an already existing game, like with all the villagers and new features, better graphics. Oh my god. I would pay money. I would sell my soul for that. Whippa, you'll be a cool warrior. I don't know if I left out any other reasons, but oh yeah. Actually, one reason that's on the top of my head that I haven't mentioned yet is like they should do it like on the Switch too, because if it's successful, which it probably will be successful, I think it would be extremely convenient to have 4 games 4 Animal Crossing games on one console. Well, 5 if you include New Horizons, but I'm talking about like the remake of Population Growing, Wild World, City Folk, and A New Leaf. And of course, it should be backwards compatible with New Horizons. That way, we'll have all the 4 remakes of New Horizons predecessors. The remakes of them, and of course, New Horizons itself. Man, we need people. We need Nintendo to hire people like me. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but like, I would love for Nintendo to hire someone that thinks a lot like me. Because, like, I don't mean to brag, but I'd say I have really good ideas for the future of Animal Crossing. Man, I just... Ooh, nice! I just think it would be awesome. It's not like they've made remakes before, you know. They've remade Miitopia. They ported some Mario games onto the Switch. Like, so it's not like something they're complete strangers to. Especially considering Animal Crossing has gotten massive thanks to the, pandemic, It it came out right when the pandemic did, so it was like the perfect game for everyone to buy. I just... Oh, son of a bitch and a half! Serious? Okay, good. Wow, I thought that was my first time activating the spare cork. I guess I forgot that it already got activated. It's not fair because I don't have any offense skills, just the regular dance. Actually, let's go ahead and use it so I can get all the first blah 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 whatever cutscenes out of the way. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't do these remakes. It would just be perfect. Plus, Animal Crossing is a lot more popular than it was, like, before New Leaf. Hell, even like during New Leaf, because like I feel like I think New Horizons was one of their best selling games, and like they could remake City Folk, Wild World, New Leaf, Population Growing. They can reintroduce those games, and they'll be a lot more popular this time around because Animal Crossing is a lot more popular than it used to be. Oh yeah, another reason that's on the top of my head that I haven't mentioned is that the Wi-Fi got shut down with Wild World and City Folk, and there was never online on the GameCube to begin with, and the online services for New Leaf will shut down on April 8th. You know, that's just honestly another good reason, in my opinion, for them to do a remake. They can introduce online services to the GameCube remake. We can have access to Wild World and City Folk again. And New Leaf again, because like it's still available for New Leaf, but like I said, it will shut down April 8th. It's bullshit, but maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign that something good is on the way. Who knows? But yeah, I know. I've just been rambling for almost 45 minutes, but I really want it so bad. Now to the next topic. I've just had some other stuff on my mind. You know, I know it's not until March, but I'm worried about my dentist appointment. And yeah, I worry about that. Like, this is why I feel like this is why I feel like I could have some sort of anxiety disorder. I am not trying to self-diagnose. I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying I could. You know, there is a difference between like self-diagnosing and then just like suspecting that you have something. But, you know, I worry excessively about shit, and it's hard to get out of, so yeah, I feel like I could have like some sort of anxiety issue. Oh, good. Thank you. Good job, Whippa. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Stop. Don't spare. Okay. I don't know if she can even spare if they're like angry or sad. You know, the angry emotion can actually be useful because they attack twice in a row. The only times it can be like a disadvantage if it's like someone that's like supposed to be healing, because they will only do like attack based actions if they're angry. So yeah, you do have to be careful and keep in mind who gets angry. But if it's just like me or Whippa, like we're not like clerics or healers, so it's all good. Oh my god, I hate not having any offensive actions except for basic attack. Hiss means attack, as I learned not too long ago, like a couple of years ago. Okay, good. I finally unlocked something. And I discovered something interesting, to say the least, yesterday. There was this person. There's this person who keeps questioning Dale about the military draft and jury duty. Like, why? And like, when he questioned him about the military draft and his rant about stern people, which, because, you know, me and, you know, Dale's a sensitive guy, which, no shame here, I'm sensitive too. So he did a rant on stern people, but someone brought up the military draft, and to which Dale responded, "It's up to a certain individual themselves, and it should be. You know, I'm honestly against the, okay, this may be controversial, but I'm honestly against the military draft, because you're basically forcing someone in the military to join the military. That's basically what a draft is. Like, it's like a lottery type thing, like numbers get drawn and stuff, so it's not like they're choosing a random person. Well, yes, but actually no. Or no, but actually yes. They're not like actually choosing a random person, but they are like relying on something random. So, no, they're not, but yes, they actually are. Okay. We're just gonna do the default, I don't care. But yeah, luckily, I read online that the military draft it only pertains to men, and they're like 18 through 25, which unfortunately, Dale does fall in that age range. Like, I think he's gonna turn 19 later this month. I think he turns 19 later this month. But yeah, he is in the age range. Luckily, there hasn't been a draft in like a couple of decades, and like a lot of people think that we're never gonna have a draft again. But I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant about how a draft works, because, like, come on, you can't just draft someone in the military willy-nilly, you know? They have to be of sound body and mind, and like even a good moral compass, I heard, is like required. And I do not mean this as an insult whatsoever, but like, I know Dale, for example, you know, he's extremely sensitive, which I can relate to. So I don't think he's cut out for the military. Now, a lot of people spend like a lot of time outside in the military, and Dale, he loves going outside, so that part does suit him, but there's a lot of discipline in the military, and some people are just extremely sensitive when it comes to that, including people like me, Dale. Ashton has mentioned to be insensitive as well, so luckily, I think he's safe. Like, should there ever be a draft, like, I think he's also, like, safe, because when they say men, like, they're talking, like, biologically, I believe, so, like, if you're talking about, like, transgenders, like, it's the trans women who get drafted, but I think the trans men are safe. Luckily, I am a cis woman, so I should be safe from the draft, even if they do decide to include women. As long as they keep the age range, like, I'll be out of it in June, because, like, the age range is 18 through 25, and I'm going to turn 26 on June 9th this year. So yeah, it's I don't know, but like I think joining the military should be a process. It's not something you should force someone to do willy nilly. Like, you have to actually like do like some. You actually have to like evaluate a person. Like, do they have a sound body and mind? Like, are they cut out for it? Do they have a good moral compass? It's not one of those things you should just draft willy nilly. Now, don't get me wrong. I support women joining the military, but I don't think women should have to get drafted, or men for that matter. But I mean, I'm just saying, but men unfortunately do get drafted, so it's too late. But I don't think anyone should get drafted in the military. It's something that people. It's a very major thing that I feel like you have to like have a willful commitment for. And then like the same person brought up jury duty in another video. It was in his video about, it was a rant on people who shame others for not having a job. So the same person commented on that video, but instead they brought up jury duty. And that's something else that you shouldn't force on someone. I mean, it's not as serious as the military, but like, it's not like, I don't know, I don't think there's like any like, it requires like discipline or like, like physical, a good physical, what I'm trying to say, a good physical status, but I don't even know if that's the right word, but you know what I'm trying to say. But you do have to have the mental capacity to really participate in jury duty. So that's something else that should be optional. I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant when it comes to military drafts and jury duty. There might be some information I'm missing, but I'm just saying. Now, Purple Ethan, he wants to join the military. He wants to be a fighter pilot. But I'm talking about forcing people to join the military and go into jury duty for that matter. Like, I just don't support it. I'm sorry. And yeah, I feel sorry for Dale because he said that he gets shamed for not having a job. Now, I get that having a job is important, but you shouldn't shame people for not having a traditional job. And he does have some things where he does make money, so he technically does have a job in a way. It's just not like a traditional job like a doctor, a lawyer, a custodian, a cashier, a fast food worker, you know? Like, and you know, this brings me back to my point about him being, like, you know, him being sensitive. You know, I relate to that, you know. Not everyone is in the right mental state to deal with a boss, so and something I can relate to is like some of us may struggle to get certain things done on time. You know, so people like me, you know, self-employment like is recommended for people like me. You know, thankfully being an author does fall under that. You know, I can write on my own time. I don't have to worry about a boss. As for Dale, I don't know if he struggles with the getting things done on time, but the whole sensitive and social anxiety part does pertain to both of us. So yeah, that's another thing. As long as people are making money in a legal and honest way, like, there's no point in shaming them. Like I said, like, you know, making money is important, you know. It's important to make something of yourself. But shaming people for not having like a traditional common whatever job, like, come on. Unfortunately, people, that's just how a lot of people work. They judge you for everything. They judge you for being LGBT. They judge you for being single. They judge you for being a self-shipper. They judge you for being autistic. They judge you for being unemployed or self-employed even. Like, it's concerning. Like, I'm worried. I'm worried for this society. Oh boy, human cannonball. Lovely. Alright! But yeah, hell, Ashton, I know you saw Dale's rant on Society. He said he was planning on doing another one, and oh my gosh, I'm really looking forward to it. Because he left out some reasons. So, yep, he did say that he was planning on doing, I guess, a part 2. I don't know if it's going to be a remake, but I think it's going to be like a part 2, because he'll talk about like reasons that he left out of the original one. And oh my god, I cannot wait. He has been cooking with rants. You know, and he made a rant on money. Now, you guys are probably thinking, why does he hate money so much? If you watched the video, believe me, you would understand. I know, like, when someone makes a rant on money, like, your first thought is like, how on earth can someone hate money? I love money. Money, it's what buys us, like, we need it to survive. We need it to pay the bills. We need it to have food, water, and shelter. And yes, that is true. That is true. But like I said, if you go and watch the video, you would understand why money can technically cause, like, problems, even like opposite. Because yes, while we need money to survive, like, if money wasn't a big deal, on the other hand, it would be easier to survive. He even said that if he was president, he would abolish money, and I think it would be interesting. I would love to live in a world, I think it would be interesting to live in a world that we didn't have to worry about money. I would love to find out what that would be like. Ooh, good job, Purple Ethan. Yeah, I know the airheaded personality seems useless, but it's actually pretty darn useful, and this is one of the reasons. The frolic quirk can make the animal lose a turn. The enemy, you know what I mean. But of course it got overwritten by the dancing arrow, but if the dancing arrow wasn't used, the golden snurf would have still lost a turn thanks to Purple Ethan. As for my books, I've actually been thinking more about my plans. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but one of my most recent books that I've thought about writing is a book about, like, finding your dream job, because that's something I'm very passionate about, guys. For some reason, I'm just passionate about people finding their dream jobs. Like, I don't know why, but the thought of people getting their dream jobs, like, it makes me so happy. Like, I don't know why, but dream jobs are just something I'm passionate about. So why not help people with their dream jobs by doing my own dream job? You know what I mean? Like, it's like having my cake and eat it too. And another thing that like I've been considering is I'm probably gonna you guys may remember that how I said that some of my books will have like two versions. One for like, a simpler version for children, and then like, like a more advanced version for adults. Well, I'm thinking that it may be best for me to publish the children books first, because number one, this is also pretty useful because like, like the enemy that gets targeted, like their guard gets let down, so they take more damage. But yeah. Two reasons I think it would be better to start with like simpler books is number one, it's just good to start off simple, and then like when you're ready, like it's better, like it's just better to do simple stuff first and like work your way up, and then like once you're ready you can start doing more advanced stuff. But another thing is too is, I don't know, maybe I'm paranoid, maybe I'm absolutely correct on this, but I feel like some of my like more advanced books could cause my dad and my grandma to get upset with me. So yeah, and it may be in my best interest to like post those later on down the road and stick to like more child friendly books, because I think people underestimate like self-help books for children. That's like it's good, like it's here's the thing, like yes, don't get me wrong, like adults, like self-help books for adults can be useful too, but at the same time, like it's absolutely crucial to like teach people early. Like a lot of the times, like it's often too late, to like teach people about stuff like autism and even LGBT. Well, actually, LGBT, like I'm probably not gonna do a children's book about LGBT because that could be controversial. But I'm just giving an example, like children need to be taught about certain things like early in life, especially when it comes to like autism and like bullying, kindness, all that good stuff. That's another book that I'm probably gonna do a children's book on. Like it's gonna be like a kindness book, and then like an anti-bullying book, a world peace book, and like if I can, I'll definitely do a more advanced version later on. I have 3 books planned, like that I'm planning on writing children's versions for. A book about crushing on fictional characters, a book about autism, and a book about like kindness and anti-bullying. I think some topics can be risky to teach to children, like the school system and LGBT. I'm not saying I don't support children learning about LGBT. I do, believe me, like it's important to teach stuff at an earlier age. Not like too early, but earlier than what society thinks is ideal, because a lot of the times it's often too late. But yeah. Seriously. I hate this feature so much. And I apologize if my TV is cut off. Like sometimes I don't always set my camera or my phone straight. Purple Ethan was the smart one, ironically, and my me was the dumb one. But yeah, we had a good talk today, guys. I don't want to run this off too long, but yeah. Like I said, it is good to teach people subjects from the get-go, and but I'm probably only gonna write children's books on a few, because certain ones could cause controversy, like LGBT and the school system. But I'm definitely gonna do the 3 I mentioned. But yeah, I enjoyed talking to you guys in this episode. I will see you guys this evening. Bye, guys.